They say broken hearts make the strongest people, but no one tells you how heavy that strength feels. In a quiet town in Oregon, where rain seemed to understand sadness better than sunshine, lived Ethan Walker. At 34, Ethan had the kind of life that looks stable from the outside. He owned a small construction business, paid his bills on time, and smiled politely when people asked how he was doing. But inside he was still standing in the ruins of a love that had ended 3 years ago. His wife Laura had been his college sweetheart. They grew up together, built dreams together, and promised forever without imagining how fragile forever could be. When Laura was diagnosed with cancer, Ethan stayed strong through hospital nights, chemo sessions, and silent car rides home. But when she passed away, the world didn't just lose color. It lost meaning. Ethan didn't just lose his wife. He lost the version of himself who believed life would always work out. Across the same town, in a small rented apartment above a bakery, lived Mia Rodriguez. She was 31, a graphic designer working remotely for a marketing firm in Seattle. Mia had moved to Oregon to start over after a painful divorce. Her marriage hadn't ended with death, but with betrayal. Her husband, Daniel, had cheated on her with someone she considered a close friend. The double wound left her questioning her worth, her judgment, and her ability to ever trust again. Mia carried her pain differently. She filled her days with work, long walks, and late-night journaling. She told herself she was healed, but the truth was, she had simply learned how to live with the ache. Love to her felt like a beautiful lie, something that looked good in movies but rarely survived real life. Their paths crossed on a rainy Thursday afternoon at a local community center. Ethan had volunteered to help renovate the old building for a youth program. Mia was there because the bakery owner downstairs asked her to design free flyers for the reopening event. It wasn't dramatic. No sparks. No slow-motion moment. Just two strangers briefly locking eyes as one held a door open for the other. "Thanks," Mia said softly. "No problem," Ethan replied, nodding. They would have forgotten each other completely if fate hadn't insisted otherwise. Over the next few weeks they kept running into each other. At the grocery store. At the coffee shop. At the community center again. Eventually, small conversations turned into familiar smiles. Familiar smiles turned into shared jokes. And shared jokes turned into something both of them swore they weren't looking for. Ethan noticed how Mia laughed with her whole face, even when her eyes carried sadness. Mia noticed how Ethan listened, really listened without trying to fix her or impress her. There was comfort in their silence, a rare peace neither had felt in years. One evening, after a volunteer meeting ran late, they found themselves walking out together. "You ever feel like life didn't go the way it promised?" Mia asked, surprising herself. Ethan paused, then smiled sadly. "Every day." That was the moment walls cracked. They started meeting intentionally after that. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into long conversations about dreams, regrets, and fears. They didn't rush. They didn't pretend. They showed up as they were, scarred but honest. But broken hearts don't heal without resistance. Ethan struggled with guilt. Every time he felt happiness with Mia, a voice inside him whispered that he was betraying Laura's memory. He feared that loving again meant forgetting, even though deep down he knew love didn't work that way. Mia, on the other hand, battled trust. When Ethan didn't reply to a text right away, her mind spiraled. When he grew quiet, she feared abandonment. Her past taught her that love leaves when you least expect it. One night, after a misunderstanding that started over something small, everything spilled out. "You don't let anyone in," Mia said, tears streaming down her face. "It feels like I'm standing outside your heart, knocking on a door you won't open." Ethan clenched his jaw. "And you're always waiting for me to hurt you," he shot back. "It's like you don't believe I can stay." Silence filled the room, heavy and painful. "I'm scared," Ethan finally admitted. "I lost the love of my life once. I don't know if I can survive losing another." Mia's voice broke. "I already lost myself once. I'm scared of disappearing again." That night they didn't fix anything. Mia went home alone. Ethan sat in his truck for over an hour staring at nothing. Old wounds had reopened, and for the first time, both wondered if love was worth the pain it stirred. Weeks passed with no contact. Ethan buried himself in work. Mia focused on deadlines. But healing doesn't happen by ignoring the truth. And love doesn't fade just because silence tries to replace it. One afternoon, Ethan visited Laura's grave for the first time in months. He stood there, rain soaking his jacket, and spoke out loud. "I loved you with everything I had," he said. "But I'm still here. And I think you'd want me to live again." For the first time since Laura's death, he didn't feel guilt, only clarity. That same day, Mia sat alone in her apartment, rereading old journal entries. She noticed a pattern. Every time something felt real, she pulled away. Fear had protected her once, but now it was keeping her lonely. She picked up her phone. So did Ethan. They met at the same coffee shop where they'd first talked for hours. No anger, no blame, just truth. "I don't want to be your past," Mia said. "I want to be your present. And maybe your future." Ethan nodded. "And I don't want you to feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I want to choose you every day." Healing didn't happen overnight. They learned each other slowly, carefully. They went to counseling individually. They talked through triggers instead of running from them. They chose patience over pride. Months later, on a sunny afternoon that felt like a reward from the universe, Ethan took Mia to the community center. The place where it all started. The renovation was complete. Laughter echoed from inside. "This place brought me back to life," Ethan said. "And so did you." Mia smiled, eyes full. "You taught me that love doesn't always break you. Sometimes it rebuilds you." Their love wasn't perfect, but it was real, rooted in honesty, strengthened by pain, guided by hope. From broken hearts to true love, they learned that love doesn't mean never getting hurt. It means choosing to heal together. It means trusting again even when fear whispers otherwise. It means believing that your story isn't over just because a chapter ended painfully.